Hey guys, what's up? This is Dan here with Grapevine Recording, coming at you via the PIAV channel once again. And I'd like to welcome you to this video where we are going to be having a quick look and a wee bit of a review of the Waves REDD 17 and the REDD 3751 console emulation plugins made in conjunction with Abbey Road. A little bit of history over this. The REDD 17 and the REDD 37 consoles were both designed in the mid-60s for, obviously, Abbey Road Studios. The REDD 17 is now still in Abbey Road, where the 37, I think, was picked up by Lenny Kravitz. So if you like any of the sounds of the Beatles, Pink Floyd during the 60s, or I'd imagine a lot of the later Lenny Kravitz stuff would more than likely have been done through this console. As well as a channel emulation or console emulation plugin, I found that it's also a pretty good channel strip. First of all, just looking at the 17, you've got high and low EQ sections up here. You've got a bass lift on the right, a pad or a bypass, a gain setting, and you have drive and analog with your fader on the right. Pretty much the same dance with the 37, except that you get a mix of the 37 and 51. You also get different EQ styles, as in pop and classic. You still have your drive and analog settings, and as well you have your fader. These can both be ran in mono or stereo, but you don't get a mono to stereo option. As I say, I really like it. What I'll do, I will show you, I'll bypass it all first and you can have a little listen, and then I'll bring it in so you can have a little listen to see what it's doing. So let me just find a right place to leave everything so it can fit. Let's put it there. I will start with it bypassed. Let's have a listen.
It's hard to say what's on my mind. There's much regret, but not the kind that can hurt a man to wish that things could change. I'm made of stronger stuff than that. Those things have been, and that's a fact. You can make believe, but times are as they are. But I can smile when I look back, and I can be proud of what I have, and take heart that I am where I need to be.
So yeah, that's the sound of the REDD. Of course, I would, if you want to read a little bit more about this on the Waves website, they have a very in-depth look at this console. You can see the history of the console and all stuff like that. Of course, as well, they have a demo download, which is a fully functional demo for 7 days. I would more than recommend that to you. Obviously, I can only show you so much, and you're not really going to get a good feel of it unless you can, you know, have a go of it yourself and see what, you know, use it in the way that you would use it. So let's just look at the 3751. I've got that on, as I say, on this I've got it pretty much on every channel. So if you hear differences in the drums or the acoustic guitar, which I did, that'll be why. It's not just on the lead vocals and backing vocals. So we'll solo the vocals for the verse, and we'll just go through it, and you can have a little listen.
It's hard to say what's on my mind. There's much regret, but not the kind that can hurt a man to wish that things could change.
So you get your two different amp types. You've got your 37 and your 51. On second listen, I think I prefer the 37. I think the 51 gets a little bit brighter, but for what I want, I think the 37 sounds nice. Then you've got a gain control going into the remainder of the plugin. Obviously, there's little lines so you can see what the the signal path is. I'm pretty sure that this is whether you treat it as a stereo or as a mono. I'm not entirely sure what that is. It would be worth having a little look. You also have a pad and a bass lift or a off or a bypass. Then goes to a pop or a classic style of EQ. As you can see down here, just this little symbol changes when you switch between the two. So I'll keep it on pop and we'll have a little listen as I move the settings.
It's hard to say what's on my mind. There's much regret, but not the kind that can hurt a man to wish that things could change. I'm made of stronger stuff than that. Those things have been, and that's a fact.
So there's the two EQs. And one of the things that this console is really revered for is the smoothness of the EQ. And since I've had my hands on it, I can wholeheartedly agree with that. And again, I know you shouldn't really do any EQ settings in solo, but I've found that this now just sits quite nicely. I love like the limitations of just you get a high tone and a low tone, and of course you can do a little bit more reading and see what frequencies they live at, but I just find that limitation of just going you have a high tone and a low tone is pretty darn good to me. So let's carry on, go on to the drive.
It's hard to say what's on my mind. There's much regret, but not the kind that can hurt a man to wish that things could change. I'm made of stronger stuff than that. Those things have been, and that's a fact.
So it's like a pretty simple drive control. I love when it gets to that point just before it really distorts, and you get that lovely bite, which is marvelous. You've also got an analog, which you can hear the difference there, or off. So you can just dial that in to see however much you would want of it. And of course you've got your output of the plugin going into the rest of your chain, or excuse me, or anything that you're doing with it. So of course you can use this in whatever way you want, and as I said, I would recommend you downloading the plugin and actually having a go yourself, using it on different projects, different scenarios, and see what you can do. But I've found, for me, I've been looking for, you know, a unique style of channel strip, and I know the one that you get with Pro Tools is pretty good, but I wanted something which offers a lot more character. And as you can tell with the type of music that I'm doing, I want to try and emulate the sound of analog as much as I can. I know that sounds pretty bad, but you know, there's always a time and a place for every type of plugin, and there's always a situation where you go, oh, I wish I had that. And I found with me is this is one of them plugins where if you just want to drive, or just an analog control, or just some very rudimentary options, it can do that. And of course I didn't really know that much about the console itself until I started researching for this video. And you know, you listen back to some of the Beatles stuff in that time, and obviously I'm a huge Beatles fan, and you know, that's part of it, that's part of the thing, that's part of the sound, it's part of the story, and I love that, I really do. And I think you get more than enough options for your money. But as I say, you know, do whatever you want with it, try it out, push it to its limits. Obviously you can see at points where if you push the drive too much, you're not really going to use that, but you get the option to if you want to. But I think I'm going to stick with, you know, different analog emulations. You know, we did the J37 and now we've done this, and I think it'll be really good because there's a lot of interest in these type of plugins right now, and I want to learn about them myself. So please remember to subscribe if you want to go through some of the other plugins. I think I might look at the Kramer tape next time, but if you've got anything that you want me to look at specifically, leave it in the comments below and I will definitely go and have a look at that. But this has been Dan with Grapevine Recording. Thank you so very much for watching, and hopefully you'll join me next time. Bye bye.